Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to start chopping corn silage. Today is September the 21st and I've currently got a wagon behind me and I'm in the Puma. We're going over to our other farm. We're gonna start over there and make our bag of corn silage for our heifers and our bull to get through the winter for them. But Dad's in front of me driving the bagger down the road with the MX-150. And it's a pretty good feeling that we're gonna get going on corn silage, especially looking at these beans. They're not ours, but they're our neighbors. They're gonna be ready to go anytime. And there are definitely a few people rolling around us that are already combining beans, so before you know it, it'll be our turn too. And we've got the bag on and we're ready to rock and roll. Dad just pulled into the field with the chopper and he's about to get started here. I'm walking down the road. This is the same field that we chopped last year over here for the heifers. Except this year we added a strip below it that was alfalfa last year. Look at how much the beans have turned. These are ours across the road. And this corn looks phenomenal. And for those of you that do not know, for corn silage, we're not only harvesting the grain in the ear, but it's gonna chop it about where this leaf is. We cut higher than a lot of people do, and it's gonna pulverize these pieces into a bunch of pieces. That's very, very highly digestible crop and feed that we can feed to our cows. It gets fed to dairy cattle and beef cattle, and it's the highest tonnage crop that you can get to feed your cattle per acre, without a question about it. back to the bag site. This bag is a little tricky to make. I think only a Versa would be able to do it. We got to steer around this light pole, power pole, and make a tight maneuver down here around these silos to get lined up, but it works. Been doing it for a long time. So I'm gonna check and see how the kernel processor is doing. We had a lot of issues with our kernel processor last year, not getting tight enough. Granted, the grain was a lot more mature last year. I'd say that looks pretty good kernel processing. That's some good stuff. Smell it. Nothing better than corn silage. Just corn silage is the perfect feed. It's digestible, it's got energy in the starch of the kernel of corn. Only thing it really doesn't have is protein, but that'll go well for our heifers. Dad's working on load number 2, and if you guys remember from the haylage videos for 4th crop, we chopped some new seeding. This is a new seeding field, and we got a shot of rain the other night, and that really helped those interseeding seedlings a lot in order to pop up. So no sign of frost. So hopefully those things keep working good, keep growing, and hopefully we don't have to worry about a weak stand of alfalfa next year. But there he goes. And I can feel pulling out of the field that how much heavier this corn silage is than haylage. The sample that Dad ran, the moisture sample is about 64%, so it's probably about 63 and a half, somewhere in there today. So perfect for bagging, but that's how much water there is. Water's heavy, if you know. And this is probably the worst end to a bag that I've ever made. While I went back out to the field to get that last load, the knot kind of slipped out from underneath me. I think we pulled too much plastic off, and with the wetter feed than haylage, and we're bagging going uphill, the knot just slid out from underneath. So this is how much air is in the bag right now, but I'm trying to hold it with my feet. I'm getting pushed pretty good here. I think it'll end up being okay, but it makes me feel better that this is heifer feed and not to the milk cows. And this end of the bag will get fed right away this winter, so don't have to worry about this end next spring or next summer. This bag will be gone by the end of the spring. Just the energy in the corn silage. We don't really supplement the heifers over here in the summer unless the pasture gets really worked down. We'll feed them a little hay, but other than that, they don't get any grain. They only get corn silage in the winter. That'll just help protect them, give them a little insulation layer. But feed's right there. We've got 2 heifers left over here that are due to calve yet this fall. And then last week we brought the bull over, and I believe 11 heifers to run with him. And there will be plenty more to come for the winter. Some of them will have AI calves, but we want to make sure, since we don't preg check our heifers with the vet, that we are able, the bull is our insurance to make sure we get our heifers pregnant, just because our heat detection in our heifers is really tough since they're outside and we have to corral them. So we try to either keep a bull out of a good cow or go find a nice one somewhere. People are always raising up herd bulls for cleanup purposes, and a lot of good brown Swiss herds around the area. This silage corn is tall. I'm not going to disclose what brand it is, but this stuff is much better than the other brand that we have at home. Similar genetic tree, but I don't know if that's because that stuff got hailed on or what, but I think we know what our corn silage variety will be for 2025. I'll say that. And I just took the parking brake off on the tractor, and now the mat is slowly sliding underneath that bag to get more tension going. Heifers are out grazing, and Dad and I both have to leave in a few minutes to go do chores, so we got started today. That's what matters, and we'll see if we can chop again tomorrow, depending on the rain tonight. But I'm very, very excited to be making feed. It's going to be busy this fall. I'm going to be a lot to haul away from the field, it looks like. I guess it makes up for the poor prices, which, good prices or bad prices, you want big yields. And that's to help ensure that you're maximizing what you put out there in the field. And either tonight or tomorrow morning I'll have something exciting to show you guys at the barn. So it's the next day, Sunday night, after milking. Sun's going down. Here's an awesome 2-year-old that just calved a few weeks ago. An HF design out of a silver. Nice rear udder view. She fills it to capacity, but what I wanted to show you, on Friday we added some new feed bunk. We're milking more cows than we ever have, and if we're going to sustain this, we've made a lot of feed this year. Going into the winter, we figured why not get some more bunk space for the cows. So they're eating out of it good. I believe 2 10-footers. Hi there. But they've eaten it down pretty good. Feed twice a day. And that's something to look forward to. Since we added this, we were able to distribute more of our feed. Before, the H bunks, we were mounting it so high, they were wasting so much feed, throwing it on the ground, that even if it doesn't help us go up in milk, the feed waste is going to be so much lower and really, really good. And then we've got first heifer calf in the 2000s. It's a Go Power heifer out of another first lactation He is also out of our own wool, but when you average about 50 heifer calves a year using conventional semen like we do, it takes about, it took probably close to 20 years to get from 1,000 to 2,000. The oldest animal we have right now is 1464, and she actually just turned 10 this summer. So in that average time frame, we've slightly gone above that 50, but right now we're sitting in the low 30s in heifer calves for the year. We're using a lot more Angus semen, and we're getting good money for those calves. And a lot of times we do have to sell a few heifers just because we won't have room for them, but it's all right now that we're not overstocking heifer pens and getting less heifers. So we will see you guys tomorrow with chopping more corn silage. We did 4 loads yesterday, did not chop any today because we got a good pounding of rain last night with a little bit of hail. We got some, not too many pods knocked out of the beans, but we were much more fortunate than some neighbors down the road that got hit way harder than we did with the hail. So it's pretty tough when the weather is going to do that to your crop when the prices are the way they are right now. But it is what it is. That's farming. That's the risk of growing a crop, and you're always at the mercy of Mother Nature and up and down commodity prices. So see you guys tomorrow. All right guys, we're back Monday afternoon. The field conditions have just dried out good enough, and the plants no longer have moisture on them. It was very, very brisk, low 40s. This morning was a shock to get up and milk cows and that cool of temperatures, but it felt really nice. That means fall is truly coming. And I'm gonna haul some loads of corn silage here for a little bit before I gotta go feed calves. I'm gonna be feeding a lot of calves this fall in the afternoons because Dad will be staying out in the field. I normally milk both shifts unless Dad has field works, and then I get moved to calf feeding duty, and my uncle steps back in and does the milking, some of the milking, along with our hired guy. But just to show you guys, there is, just to show what the wind damage did, we are very, very lucky that we did not get hail over here, unlike our neighbors. But I don't know if you can tell, but that corn on the outside there is really twisted up and knocked over, and it's a good thing that the chopper is going to be able to do that. I think that stuff is twisted up because that is out in the middle of the field, corn on corn for a few years, maybe a little bit weaker of a root system, didn't have to work for water this year, and it's not on the outside rows, so it wasn't able to capture as much sunlight to build a stronger root system, because none of our other fields, even this one over here, is not twisted up like that on the outside few rounds on the north side of the field. But we're back to chopping. We got 6/10 at home, or at the barn, whatever day it was. We chopped Saturday, and the guy that does our custom baling, he got over 3 inches, and the hail absolutely stripped all the leaves of the corn to the east of us for a few miles, which is insane how lucky we are. If our corn silage field at home had that happen to it, we would be abandoning the idea of chopping that. We would end up hauling, because we need effective digestible fiber in our ration, and just stalk and ear. The stalk isn't quite as digestible as the leaf is, and we don't need that much starch in our corn silage, and it would make it tougher to balance out and to know how much high moisture corn we would have to make. Heading back with my third load. This will probably be my last one before I gotta go. But yeah, I pulled out of the field right there, and he is getting ready to chop more feed. I'm not going to haul any more loads tonight, but just got done feeding calves, milking cows, and switching. I got a tractor and some bales coming down the road here. Scoot over for them, but that sun is powerful at this time of day. And we have a neighbor that, if you've been watching the last few videos of Silage, that they are gonna put or get their beans ready, and we've got a Kinsey grain cart, 290 Magnum with our saddle tank still on, and an 8240, a new to them combine, and a semi. I'm guessing is a little too wet underneath yet, but there is another person down the road that was combining beans earlier today, so we better get the corn silage done because our time will be coming soon too. And they have done a good job while I was at the barn of getting the corn cleared off. The end rows are cleared off. That corn looks beautiful once you get it in the field. Green all the way down. Can't ask for more than that. It's a beautiful sight too. And I'm gonna get a picture on my phone here for Instagram soon, so if you guys aren't following the Instagram and the Facebook, go check it out, Viking Valley Farm. And I guess this is what it takes to have a social media presence, but you guys are gonna get the up close and personal of me trying to get a shot for the gram. This might be thumbnail worthy. now I'm gonna go home and be a good college student and get my homework done, unlike well, not unlike some people, but I would much rather come out and haul loads, but I am paying money to do schoolwork, so I better try, right? I have the rest of my life to farm, 1 semester of school left, so I'll go home and be a good student. We will see you guys tomorrow when we hopefully finish this bag, and then we'll be heading home to do the corn silage for the cows. And we're back chopping just a little after noon here. Dad's going for load number 1 on the day, and we've got less than 10 loads to fill this bag, and hopefully we can get 1 on at home for chores. So I mentioned yesterday that we had some neighbors that were combining beans. Well, over in the distance there's a John Deere S770 combine at work with a what I believe is a 35-foot draper, and looks like they're moving pretty good. So I thought when I just came over here that the dew on the corn is still there, but I guess the beans are ready. And I see trucks going where I showed you that 8240, or I see trucks pulled up, so they're getting ready to combine over there, but you probably can't see that far away, but we'll get a peek at that later today. And I just dumped load number 4 on the day. Looking at the folds, I think we've got 3 left, but we don't have to worry about getting the loads perfect because we're gonna haul the rest of that field home. And there are a couple folds left on that bag, and this is going to be the last load, I believe. And it's safe to say that there will probably be, I don't know, 8 loads for sure that we got to haul home from over here, which is okay. Probably more than that, but that's good. And now I'm just going to check and see where our red tape is. And see if we need to put any more plastic on or not. And the red tape is coming out. And this is the end of the tunnel right here. So I think this load is going to be absolutely perfect for the end of this bag. So Dad's chopping one more and I'll haul that one home, and we'll get the bag on at the home place. And just like that, this bag is done. And this video is gonna be over. And we'll hop back in when we start the next bag. Thanks for watching. As always, please like, comment, subscribe, and share the video. Thanks for watching. Carter out.